Yeah, it's live now.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to a Simply Reliable Studio Presents Monday Night Raw live from Glasgow, Scotland. I am, of course, Mr. Reliable. Well, not so reliable after yesterday, but that's a different story. And you got the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams. How's he going today, JJ?
What's going on? Everything is going good. Apparently, a little bit better than things were yesterday. But like you said, that was then. This is now. Happened to the background. There was a background app.
You put it back just now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then again, how you looking forward to today?
I mean, yes and no. If I'm being honest, yes
Uh-oh.
and no. Because okay, on the surface, I'm looking forward to it. These international crowds, for the most part, tend to be pretty good. Make the show that much better. We've got some solid matches announced that we'll get to here momentarily, a couple of big segments. But what I'm not looking forward to is the possibility of the international crowd hijacking the show. Sometimes I feel like their chants get a little bit too carried away and they feel like they're the star of the show, which to a certain degree, us, the fans, are the star because we're who are being played to. And superstars have said that in the past that the true stars are us. But at the same time, you don't want to take away from the performance. So that I'm not looking forward to. And I don't know if I'm ready to be disappointed if the mystery partner isn't who we all think it's going to be. You know what I mean? Like WWE is putting up there asking who is the mystery partner going to be, and I'd say about 90% of the people seem to think the same person we think it's going to be. So if it's not that person, I don't know if I'm ready to be disappointed. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll try my best not to be disappointed, but if you think about it, just what other opportunity would it be to just make him feel like bigger, and then if it is him, that reaction you get, once it hits midnight on that day that his contract expires, somebody's gonna get a phone call. I don't know if it'll be exactly midnight, but you know what I mean.
No, I totally get you. And like, I feel if there was ever an opportunity for the crossover to occur on the main roster, this is it.
Hmm.
So if this happens, like everybody is speculating that it's going to happen, then it truly is game over.
Hmm.
Because then we're seeing a TNA contracted superstar, their world heavyweight champion on Raw.
Hmm.
And not just sitting in the crowd spectating, but actually in the ring competing live. The Rumble is one thing, NXT is one thing. But if y'all remember when that press release was released regarding the official partnership, it was the WWE
Hmm.
logo and the TNA logo, not the NXT logo and the TNA logo.
Yep.
And they referred to the opportunity for stars to compete on flagship broadcasts. WWE's flagship since 1993 has been Monday Night Raw.
Uh-huh.
So
It sure has. But we know. I don't know if I would trying to guess what they would start with because I don't really want them to start with Cena and take an hour of my time or 45 minutes. But you might want to do that for an hour too to keep people interested because some
I
people,
would start with Punk.
yeah,
I would start with Punk. Punk is hot, especially after the segment on SmackDown. You know, I feel like Punk coming on would be a good way to kick things off.
yeah,
And then to your point, save Cena or Cody for the start of hour two.
hmm,
And then the start of hour three would be the main event, whatever that's going to be, whether it's Jimmy and the mystery partner versus A Town Down Under, whether it's Braun versus Penta for the IC title. We know it's not going to be Lyra and Raquel.
uh
That's not going to be the main event. That should be the first match, I think.
hmm.
One of the IC title matches should be the first match after the opening segment. And we still don't know if there will be any other matches. That's just what we know about. 2 segments, 5 matches, or 3 matches, 5 segments total.
Hmm. I'll go ahead and while he's doing it, I'll show the graphics and show like that. That's the IC title match, and like you said, that
Mm-hmm.
actually has potential to be the main event, especially in an international crowd because Penta might not be from Europe. He's from North America. He's from Mexico, but international crowd appreciates people like that. And
Mm-hmm.
this man has gotten over. Like I try. I was like playing around, and his masks are $80. And I was playing around and trying to get one just to like see how long the shit. It was sold out at one point, and then the next day it wasn't anymore. But the fact that that's sold out is
Mm-hmm.
freaking ridiculous. Like like I ain't tripping. I don't want to. I don't. Yeah, settle me yellow. Like this isn't an AEW thing, but sometimes you don't know what you have till it's gone. Like,
Yeah. But I mean, and there's always the possibility Penta could walk out of this as the IC champion.
yep.
Same with Raquel. Like I feel if there's any opportunity to move a belt today, I think Raquel is a shoe in to take the IC title off of Lyra. Like I know that would suck, especially since I believe Lyra is Irish and they're in Scotland, and I know there's a big difference between Irish and Scottish, but they kind of like
Mhm.
border each other, I think, Ireland and
Mhm.
Scotland.
Even the accents are very similar.
So I think that would be interesting. What's up, Pop? Good to see you.
Your pops had explained that that was him yesterday. We were like, "Oh, Bellman, we got a new viewer." He was like, "It's me,
No,
Brett Terry." I was like, "Oh."
he may change his username, but all you got to do is look for that graphic because
Yeah.
that's a self portrait of John Lennon.
Oh,
And John Lennon is my dad's favorite Beatle, one of his heroes.
nice.
And then it says Imagine, which was one of John's songs, and then Peace underneath it.
Hmm.
As long as you see that image, that's pop,
Okay.
regardless of what it says.
Now
But
we know.
but yeah, I think Raquel is almost a lock. Then you got Raquel 2 belts. Then it's all about Liv getting back to that world title.
Oh yeah, look at that.
And I mean, what better way to kind of build the whole Dominic kind of taking over the Judgment Day? You get
Hmm.
Raquel with another championship. What are you doing, Finn? What's happening with you, Finn?
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Every opportunity that I get for the girls, they manage to succeed on. What's going on with you, Finn? Yet you
Yeah.
don't want to listen to me when I want to add a new member.
Yeah. And the fact that the new member he suggested is Penta is hilarious. You never know. Do you think we get Dom and Finn at WrestleMania? Or they squashed that before it?
I think so.
That's a good opener for night one.
Yeah, it's a good opener. It's a good middle of the card match. It definitely
Mhm.
wouldn't be a main event match,
Mhm.
but definitely would be Mania worthy. And I mean, the stipulation could even be if Dominic wins, he gets his new member.
There we go. Not a bad idea. Look at us booking WrestleMania for them. Watch them steal that idea now.
Hmm.
But I mean, this may be a segment, but that's a main event in and of itself. But don't make it the main event. That's not what I mean. I'm just saying the the potential, especially if it leads to action. Now, if these two don't touch and it's just another talking segment, then yeah. But I don't know. Can we see a whole different side of Cena after what was said last night? Yeah, or last week, I should say.
Not yet.
Hmm.
Not yet. Let it kind of be. I don't want it to be the exact same as last week. I want there to be a little bit more intensity, a little bit more edge to it. But I want Cody to kind of own Cena again. And then next week is when Cena snaps. Because again, to the point that I've made in the spaces, this point that I've made on shenanigans, as far as we know, we've only got Cena for these three Raws, and then we don't see him again till Mania. So you've got to tell the story within the 3 weeks that you have him. We may not get another Cena appearance until, if we're lucky, the Raw go home or the SmackDown go home to Mania.
Mm.
Because we know he'll be at the Hall of Fame. He's always there for that. He's always there for the big shit. But we
Hmm.
may not get him again until either the Raw or SmackDown go home till WrestleMania after next week. So if we're going to do
Hmm.
something, we kind of have to pull the trigger next week. Because pulling it on that show, I feel is too late.
Hmm.
Especially if it's the SmackDown. The Raw might be able to be salvageable, pulling the trigger there. Because you've got NXT to rehype it, and you've got SmackDown to rehype it. But if you wait to pull that trigger on that go home SmackDown, it's too late.
It loses its oomph, if you will. Yeah.
Because there's no time to really dwell on it. You pull that trigger, and then you go into the Hall of Fame where everything changes, and then you go into Mania the next day.
Hmm.
There's no time to let it breathe, let it marinate, let it process. There's no time for DJ to host a rockin' ropes for people to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm. I know what you mean.
had to get that out there because I know he's in the chat. I saw him
Yeah.
comment the yo, so had to get the little shout out to Rockin' Ropes there every Friday and Sunday on the Twitter spaces.
Hmm. Yeah, and woo, those be some hot topics.
Yes, sir.
Especially last week. And it's not always on wrestling, folks. Trust me, especially JJ and I's. I mean, I did one. What was it? 2 weeks ago that literally went over an hour on music.
hmm so let me ask you this: how big of a wrestling fan is your wife? Like, does she really just kind of watch to support you,
Yeah,
or is she like really into it?
she just watches to support me. She was into it in the
Because bring up,
90s and
because bring
2000s.
up that last comment she did. She just fucking booked the hell out of tonight. That's some shit right there. That is some like legitimate WWE Booker type shit. Hendry's the mystery partner. You do that early, then the Cena segment happens, and then at some point backstage they walk past each other just for a second, kind of give each other a look.
Damn.
God damn it. Can we get this woman a job with WWE Creative?
Right?
Hell, can we get her a job with AEW Creative? Oh wait, AEW doesn't have creative. Never mind.
Wow, digging
She'd
it.
spend her time in catering just like half the roster does because they don't have a creative team.
Right? Like, where the hell is Soraya?
Yo, DJ, clip that and give it to Usi.
Right? Oh, yeah. Oh, Stevie! I love when he does that. Yeah, I wouldn't even have thought of that, by the way.
Because I
That's where
mean,
you do it.
as far of a shot as it is, people are still pondering the possibility of Cena versus Hendry some point this year. And if it's gonna happen, does it happen on WWE soil? Does it happen on TNA soil?
Mm.
Is Joe Hendry a challenger for Cena's championship? Is Cena a challenger for Hendry's championship?
Hmm.
You know, do we see it during SummerSlam 2 nights? Do we see it at TNA Slammiversary or Bound for Glory?
You do need something big for SummerSlam. For the first time, it's 2 nights. You got to make us wonder why you did it. You know what I mean?
Mhm. But WWE's got enough people from within that they could do that with. We
That's
could get
true.
a Cena Orton match. We could get Cena Punk. We could get Cena Roman again.
Ooh, yeah.
There's a bunch of people that we could get that match with without having to do Hendry. I think if it's going to be Cena Hendry, it needs to either be Slammiversary or Bound for Glory.
Oh my
And
God.
then you've got John Cena appearing on a TNA pay-per-view.
Oh my God. The way those tickets would sell and the pay-per-view itself, my God.
See, and TNA has already been selling out.
Hmm.
So imagine if they had that.
Yeah, I mean, it would be '06 all over again. He walked into ECW arena. Granted, it's within WWE and got booed out of the building. But imagine they kind of rehashed that and he walks into
Mhm.
TNA and he's going to get booed the hell out of the building.
And especially now that he's a heel for real.
Can you imagine the if Cena retains, we walk or whatever it was. What was
If Cena
we
wins, we
protest?
riot.
Yeah, we riot. Yeah, but yeah, that's crazy. Do you have your countdown? I just want to see. I got 51, 50, 49.
Okay, pause first. Pause at 8:30.
Okay.
35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30.
All right.
We should be synced now. But how's the chat doing this evening? This afternoon? This afternoon, Jesus,
Right.
it isn't even evening yet. I mean, I guess you could technically say it's early evening for you because it's pushing four
Yeah.
o'clock, but it's almost 1 o'clock here in California. Like it's still the afternoon time.
Right. It's like 12:51 over there,
Yeah, 12:52. So it's
right?
like, dude, that's the thing that I love about these overseas shows is that I have time. I'm gonna watch Raw. It'll
Mhm.
be over by 3:30 for me. By the time we get off the air, it'll be 3:45, maybe 4 o'clock my time. Then I'll watch the benefit from last night that I had to miss while I was working, and that'll probably be over at 8:30. Because I think the stream was about 4 hours last night, so I'm anticipating the show being about 4 hours.
Just about, yeah.
So that's at 8. Then I still have a good chunk of my night. Like I don't usually go to bed till midnight. So I
I
still
do.
got like 3 hours after that's over to consume shit, whether I'm watching people's reviews of Raw, whether I watch, Aaron Rift's review from Raw, JD from New York's,
Mhm.
just Alex, whatever. But
We could st
tonight is going to be a big wrestling day for me because of how early Raw is. And then next week, it's back to being at noon for me.
Mhm. We could do a lot of studying of La Princesa matches today.
Oh, don't get me started. Don't get me started. Vox responded to me saying he's doing well. Good to hear that. I do have a little bit of bummer news regarding that. We're
Mm,
only going to have her for about 15 minutes.
mm.
I'm a little bit bummed about that. I was hoping we'd at least be able to get her for a half hour to an hour, but we need to be thankful that someone of royal stature like a princessa is gracing us with her time at all. So
Yeah.
I will definitely take what we're given. We may have to do at least like an impromptu topic afterwards. You know, I'm still not sure if we're going to just do the full shenanigans that night or not. I guess that'll kind of be up to everybody else the week going in. But for those of you guys that missed it on shenanigans, NWA superstar La Princesa Tiffany Nieves will be joining us on Friday, April 4th, 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific for an interview. What we may do, and again, I'll run this by the entire team, but since we're only going to get about 15 minutes with her, I may just do the interview myself and then bring you guys in like towards the end of it if you guys have a question for her.
Okay.
Because for 15 minutes, I don't want us all stepping all over each other. You know what I mean? I'd like to keep it as simple as possible. If we were going to have her for a half hour to an hour,
Mhm.
I'd let everyone be on the screen. Then we can kind of like free flow questions for her. But like, if we only get a certain amount of time, there's a lot of stuff that I want to try and get in 15 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair. If any of us can, I mean, it'd be like maybe if the because you were gonna only do a couple of us, so she's not overwhelmed. Maybe we could say what we want to say backstage before you go on, and then it's just you and her for those 15 minutes. Yeah.
I mean, I would like to give the core four, so me,
Yeah.
you, Noah, and James. I'd like to give you three at least the opportunity to each ask her a question
Mhm.
on the air. So we'll just kind of see and play it by ear how long she's going to give us. If it really is going to
Okay.
only be about 15 minutes, then maybe I'll try to do, 10 of it, just me and her, and then bring you guys in for like the last 5 minutes.
That makes sense. Yeah. James might have to hide because of what happened on that stream, but yeah.
Hey, I sent her the video of us promoting her.
Uh-huh.
So she has seen what we said on the air.
Oh, okay.
She saw the bit about how, everybody on the teams cheered other people except for me and you.
Yeah.
So she's seen it all. As a matter of
Okay.
fact, I messaged her and I was like, I'd love to get your reaction to our review and our watch alongs if you have the time to watch them. And then she replied to me, said, amazing. And then she said that's when she said, I have about 15 minutes for the interview, so we'll make it fun.
Nice.
So
That's
so yeah,
awesome.
big stuff going around here for the Simply Reliable Studios. Let's see. I know it's in the shenanigans chat, and I don't want to change things, so I'll just upload the image here real quick. But yeah, for those you guys that missed it again, I and I understand it says Saturday shenanigans. I'm gonna
Hmm.
update it because originally we thought we were gonna get her on a Saturday, but it will be a special Friday shenanigans with La Princesa Tiffany Nieves, former OVW Women's Champion, former Mission Pro Women's Champion, former Destiny World Women's Champion, former Shine Tag Team Champion, and the current reigning and defending NWA Exodus Pro Women's Champion, and the current reigning and defending Future of Women's Wrestling Champion. And I heard rumor that she may have added some more gold to her repertoire this weekend, but I'm not 100% positive just yet.
Mm. The show. Is this something that didn't air?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
why I
okay.
say it like that, because I messaged her yesterday morning and, basically said, "Hey, I hope that the NWA Hard Times show was a success." And her exact words were, it was an amazing success. I can't share why."
Mm.
So those of you guys out there that can even half-ass do some Sherlock Holmes detective work can figure out why. But like Walter just said, it hasn't aired yet. So
Yeah.
the live event is about to start.
That's what I got too. Not yet, exactly. So fat because it ain't flipping over.
I know.
I'm
He
gonna back up. Okay.
no, you don't have to back out. It'll
Oh.
mess us up.
Oh.
See,
Okay.
now it went black. There's the little N for the Netflix.
Hmm.
And now it's starting to then now forever shit. So it's like I said, you don't have to back out. And Safet always gets eager. He's
Hmm.
always saying that stuff is showtime before things starts, or he's a couple seconds ahead of us. So just a friendly reminder to those of you guys that are watching along with us. Don't post anything in the chat room until we call it or react to it.
Please.
Please and thank you.
Then it'll
Either
be
that
empty
or
camera time.
pause your feed so that you are in perfect sync with us. As we're
Hmm.
taking a look at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada, home of WrestleMania 41, which is 26 days away. Wow, look at that shot of Scotland.
Can you believe it's only 26 days? Like, damn, when we were talking about WrestleMania, it sounded so far away. Like,
Well, it did at the beginning of the year, but here we are, March 24th, and you figure there's 30 days in March, right? Yeah. No,
31.
there's 31 in March.
Yeah.
So you figure there's 7 days left here and then 19 till we get to night one.
Yeah.
So yeah, 26 days. There's Lyra Valkyria backstage walking into the arena.
Shout out to my sensei here. His birthday's tomorrow. 15 years old.
Damn.
Hmm.
Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio. Apparently, Dragon Lee is going to be taking on Chad Gable tonight. So there's something we didn't know about. Challenger for the Intercontinental Championship, Penta El Cielo Miedo. It's kind of weird seeing him without the paint on the bottom half of his mouth there.
Oh, yeah, right?
And there's Braun Breaker, the champion, backstage. It's like I've never seen a human version of Penta. I've always seen him in gimmick, if that makes sense. So seeing him
Yeah,
without the face paint down here, it's kind of weird.
it is weird. Huh?
We're going to start off with something here.
Yeah, because it got quiet. A little too quiet.
John Cena. So we're starting again with Cena.
And the old music, too.
Yep.
They should cut it off to stop people from doing it. See, that sucks just like as a middle finger to the crowd.
But he's a heel now, so why? It fits now more than ever.
That's true.
Damn, they are giving it to him. And John Cena, of course, with another new t-shirt, the Glasgow version. I do like how it still says the Rise Above Hate on the sleeve there,
Uh-huh.
which is, again, perfect considering he's getting booed out of the building. So it's almost like a reminder to himself to rise
Yeah.
above the hate.
Yeah, rise above their hate. I put Cody face to. I don't know if they're doing a face to face or it's just Cena. Let me just put John Cena. Mhm. Raw doing a hot opener. Notice how like he goes heel and all of a sudden he doesn't know who Stu is anymore.
Right? I'm waiting for them to start showing the WrestleMania graphics with the actual days of each match. But I don't think we're going to get that until like a couple weeks before the show. They're still trying to figure out what matches are going to be on what day. I mean, we know this is going to be the night two main event, so they may as well show that one with the April 20th date.
Yeah, maybe. I'm gonna go
All
on
right, let's
mute.
see
We're
what
gonna let
John
you
Cena
transfer.
has to say. He's asking if something's on the fans' mind. Seems like the fans have something that they want to say to him. Almost kind of little flip on the whole. So, what do we want to talk about?
I was just thinking that. That's perfect call.
He's saying it's because the fans have finally realized what's going on, that the spotlight has been turned on us, and he can rip apart any of us at any point.
Dang, he ain't even calling them fans no more. He called them ticket holders.
Talking about the fan, the little kid from last week that got posted everywhere. Glasgow chanting, "Fuck you, Cena." Look at that smirk on his face, man. You can tell how much he is loving this. Damn, he said, who's worse, me, the guy that's always telling the truth, or all of you whose best insult is to use profanity?
The old stop him when he's
Damn.
telling lies, JJ.
Right? Says we're all horrible people. Tonight we get to find out how we're going to pay for the abuse that we've put him through. For 25 years, he's listened to our lies and our noise. But he didn't waste that time being mean. He paid attention. And now Glasgow is telling him to shut the fuck up.
You know, deep down inside, he's loving this shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, look at the smirk on his face. He is eating it up. Cena saying that the fans make it so easy. Says while everyone's been chanting profanities, he's been studying, learning from. Cena says that the fans have told him every single thing about us. Says that he knows more about us than we do. Says our lives are sad. Says this is the best it's going to get for these fans. But to him, we've been nothing more but an experiment. We're rats in a cage. Says pick out any moment from his career and Cena will tell us what he learned from us. Says we make it so simple for him.
They walked right into that. When you do this, you say what? And they said it right on cue.
The most important thing we ever told him was April 2005. The day he gave us the Spinner Championship. And we ate him alive for it. We all told him how stupid he was because we changed the championship into a toy, and a championship is not a toy.
Bro, he's right. I remember those comments. He's right on point.
So we disrespected tradition, disrespected our legacy. Says that was the biggest mistake we ever made. And now he's going to ruin wrestling. I'm going to ruin wrestling for every fan, every wrestler, for everyone.
I love that he said wrestlers, not superstars.
At WrestleMania, he makes history by winning a 17th championship. And he forces us to forget the name of Ric Flair.
Damn.
You will forever say the name John Cena.
Dude, I'm digging this promo.
But even worse, I'm going to win a championship. And retire with it. I'm taking it home with me. And leaving us all to create a new toy belt because the real one comes home with him. I will be the last real champion in WWE.
Holy
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
bro, this promo is crazy.
Cena's cooking right now, man. I'm loving it.
That shit is a
And the
5-course meal.
hilarious part is is that John Cena always hated that fucking spinner belt.
The thing is, he's telling so much truth. Like
He
people did
is.
say that shit, and he says, "Yo, I'm just gonna walk away." That sounds similar to CM Punk's promo when he said, "I'm just gonna go home with that belt."
Out the curtain, lights go up, I'm home. Whoa.
Whoa.
Curious to see what Cody is going to say. Last week he kind of ate Cena up and spit him back out. You know, is Cody like, "Hey, this is the John Cena I was looking for"?
Seems like it should be, right? That's what he
You
asked
would
for.
think, I mean, or is this part of the Cena that Cody thinks he can beat? You know, this is the same Cena that gave Cody his best shots at the Chamber, and Cody is still standing.
Not to mention the shot Travis Scott gave him, but we won't talk about that one.
Right? So does Cody still feel like this is the Cena that, he was able to stay standing from? Or does he feel like this is the 16-time champion and, it's game on now?
Can't wait.
Kind of want to see Cody look him in the eyes and be like, the champ is here.
Oh, right. Ooh. He already told him he could see him. He kind of flipped that already.
Here go the fans with the Cody Rhodes chants again. Shut the fuck up and let them talk.
Right?
We had so much momentum going in this segment. Don't kill it.
Yeah. Trust me, they'll give you the little spaces to put stuff when they talk. They do it on purpose. They know how to pause.
There's a dude in the front row with a Rascals jersey. That's
Oh man,
awesome. Did
my
you
wife
catch
is.
that?
Yeah, so my wife's behind me. She said, "Yo, why does Cody look like a Ken doll?"
Cody says, I'm sorry. What did you say? Said you were going to take the championship, away from them. Don't you think you need to take it away from me first? Cody says, maybe you're the most dangerous John Cena has ever been. Cody just looking at Cena.
Then we get the Cody Rhodes stuff again.
Yeah.
This is what you were talking about.
Yeah. Like, come on. You're making the segment have to go longer. And then y'all are gonna fucking bitch and whine and moan when a match gets cut. Cody asking John if that bothers him. Cody talking about how hard he fought just to hold the championship one time. The timeline of professional wrestling hangs in the balance because of Cena's vanity. Cody putting the belt on the ground in front of Cena. Tie is off. Cody's unbuttoned his shirt. Cena's
Shaking right
throwing the
now.
microphone. Cody
Uh-oh.
throws his.
What did they say, JJ? It's real in it for you.
Mm-hmm. But Cena's not going to do nothing because it's what the fans want. And he's not about giving the fans what they want right now. See?
Mm-hmm.
Backs off, turns around, and goes through the ropes.
That's a heel for you.
Grabs his little towel and starts making his way back up the ramp. Cody's got the mic.
Cody is heated.
Cena's coming back down.
Ooh, I wasn't expecting that.
Cody's taking the jacket off. Cena turns back around, going back up the rampway. Cody says, one thing, John. Cody's saying that John Cena's psychotic need to take this does not outweigh our need to keep it. The
Mm.
champ is no longer standing there. The champ is standing in the center of the ring. John Cena, you're walking away empty handed. That's how you walk away from WrestleMania, and that's how you walk away from the WWE. So he basically said the champ is here because he mentioned how the champ is standing in the middle of the ring, which is Cody. So kind of did what I said.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh wow, Pat McAfee is in Europe. Okay, I wasn't expecting that.
Wearing a shirt and tie, no less. That is
Right.
so not McAfee.
So while they're doing highlights, what did you think of that segment?
I thought it was good, man. I thought it was everything it needed to be. I was not upset at the segment last week. There were a lot of people that were upset at the segment last week. I was not. I also thought that this week's segment was good.
Yeah, I was one of the ones that like loved the segment last week too. It's just you can never make people happy. You know that.
Taking a look at the highlights from Finn Balor versus Braun Breaker and the mention of adding Penta El Cielo Miedo to the Judgment Day. Still need to give me a Penta action figure, damn it. Dude's
Yeah,
name is so long that couldn't even fucking fit it all on the AEW box.
Zero.
It always said like
Zero miedo.
Penta El Zero, no miedo.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh man.
Or they would just put Penta, but they couldn't put Penta El Zero Miedo because it was. You remember the old WWF Classic Superstars boxes?
Mhm.
That's what the AEW boxes look like. So the
Oh,
side
okay.
there was never enough room to put Penta El Zero Miedo.
I'm glad WWE kept that moniker that said on yellow. Like I'm glad they didn't try to change it.
I think the most they ever got was Penta El Zero M. So they got the M for Miedo, but not the whole word.
Wow.
So coming up here tonight, as we've mentioned, it will be Penta challenging Braun Breaker for the IC title. Oh, we're getting right into it. Here comes main event Jay Uso.
Oh my God.
Uso!
Alicia, what if what Alicia said happens, but in reverse? Like they did Cena
Hey,
first and
now see if I were doing this, I would bring out A Town Down Under after Jay and have
uh-huh.
them be like, "So who's your partner? Who's your partner?"
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's Jimmy.
Okay.
Looks like that's gonna be the partner.
All right.
Yep, at a combined weight, so it is gonna be Jimmy and Jay. The Usos are back together.
Oops, I put Jay
McAfee
Uso.
is actually wearing a kilt, and he is
Is he?
on the fucking desk yeeting.
Oh, I looked down. I didn't see him doing it yet. Oh, there he is.
He is actually wearing a kilt.
That's awesome, actually. Wow. So
Yeah,
the
I agree with Charles. Why make it a mystery partner if it was just gonna be Jimmy? Like, I
yeah, you
feel
could have
like
just
they
said.
could have just done something. Like, they could have had Jay on SmackDown talking to Jim, be like, "Yo, Oos, I got this match on Monday. How about coming back together to do the thing?" Instead of making it a mystery partner. Like, I feel like they set it up for failure here. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad to see the Usos back together. I just feel like they missed an opportunity here. You know? Cole needs to stop yeeting. He gives us white folk a bad name, as rhythmless as he is. And here comes A Town Down Under. Grayson Waller, the Aussie icon, and Austin Theory. Now we're getting a little commercial for Stephanie's Places, the brand new series from Stephanie McMahon. Premieres March 26th on ESPN, so that's Wednesday. Gee, nothing else airs on Wednesday nights, does it, Walter? For it to be competing with?
Yeah, the worst dynamites that's been happening.
First episode going to feature the Second City Saints CM Punk. Available on ESPN, Disney Plus, and Hulu. So WWE is going to have programming on Disney Plus and Netflix and Tubi. Bell sounds and we are underway here. Main event Jey Uso starting off in the ring against Austin Theory. Collar elbow tie up into the side headlock. Jey Uso with control. Theory bounces him off the ropes. Shoulder tackle from Uso drops Theory to the mat and we yeet. Uso off the ropes, dropped down by Theory, leapfrog over Jey Uso, goes for the hip toss, but Jey Uso counters. Short arm clothesline from Uso drops Theory and a tag to Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller in, jaw jacking. Jay goes for a yeet, Waller goes for a kick, but Uso catches the leg, sends Waller into his own corner. Step up in Seguri, rocks Waller, and the tag to Big Jim Uso. Kind of taking in the moment here since the two of them are back on the same page. Double elbow drop. Goes for the clothesline, sends Waller over the mat, and there goes Theory for his troubles. Big Jim up and over. Takes out both members of A-Town Down Under with Jay pulling the top rope down, and then a yeet for good measure once he gets over the top rope. Big Jim throws Waller back in the ring. Waller is the legal man. Sidekick to the gut of Jimmy Uso, and now Waller is in control. Shots to the chest of Jimmy Uso. Irish whip from Waller sends Big Jim into the other corner. Up and over Waller goes Jim, and the nice little thrust punch sends Waller to the mat, hooks the leg, gets a 2 count. Big Jim gets Waller back up to his feet, chops him into the corner. Waller regains a little bit of control, kick to the midsection, backs Jim into the corner, but Jim regains control and another chop sends Waller onto the top rope before he falls to the mat. Irish whip to Waller off the ropes, hooks the top rope there. Theory with a blind tag. Waller sends Big Jim to the outside in front of the announce table. Waller with the baseball slide under the rope, rocks right into a threat punch to the throat by Big Jim, but here comes Theory, dropping Jimmy Uso to the mat. And now A-Town Down Under doing a little bit of double team work here on the outside.
Sorry, I got a call that when somebody doesn't want to shut up and hang up, and you're like, yeah,
It's all
okay,
good. It's all
I
good.
solved your issue. You can hang up now.
Theory back in the ring now with Big Jim. Stomping on the hand there. And we go to commercial.
Oh, you didn't say it.
I didn't because apparently my shit got upgraded. I'm still here live. It's telling me back in 2 minutes and 11 seconds, but I'm still seeing the action. Waller punches Big Jim. Theory over to the corner. Some ground and pound mounted punches. It's kind of hard to say fuck television when I didn't actually go to a commercial. Theory taunting the crowd with his own version of yeets before telling the crowd to suck it. Gets Big Jim back up, tag to Waller. Waller with a gut punch on Big Jim, starting to dominate here. Nice knee to the midsection, sends Jim rolling into the A-Town Down Under corner.
I did we both get upgraded? Because I'm back in a minute 24 and it's still wrestling too.
You see, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what's going on here.
I ain't gonna
I'm
complain
not.
though.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not complaining. Running, spinning elbow drops Jimmy Uso, and then a foot stomp onto the chest gets Theory a 2 count.
So if there's no commercial, what am I back from in a minute?
I don't know. Maybe it's a fuck up. I'm not complaining.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I hope they fuck up every week in that case.
Right? At least for the overseas shit.
Yeah.
Theory with the tag to Waller. Drops Jey Uso so that Big Jim can't get the tag. And now the mounted punchings from the Aussie icon.
Yeah, but while I was on the phone, I agree with you, and I forgot who said it, but yeah, if you were just gonna do this, you should have made it a bigger deal and said, "Tune in Monday, the reunion of the Usos." Like, don't even say
Mhm.
mystery. Wow, it said we are back, but you never disappeared.
Right? Again, I'm not complaining.
Yeah, me neither. I love that. By the way, I love the
Waller,
spoon.
Waller
Camera.
and Big Jim still in the ring. Waller just dropped Jay again so that Jimmy can't get to the tag. Waller handing Jimmy up on the top rope, rolling through the bottom, right into that pop-up Samoan drop.
Dude, I don't care how people feel about Waller. That dude's athletic.
I like Waller, man. I always have.
Yeah, I like Waller too.
Tag to Theory, and here comes main event Jay.
Did Theory just trip?
No, Jay did one of those jump up clotheslines and dropped him.
Oh, okay.
Some yeet punches, gut kick, another yeet punch.
Mm.
Huge Insiguri rocks Theory, sending him into the corner.
That, you know what? I just thought of that. That may be why this isn't the main event, because they just did the Usos reunion, not Joe Henry. So they like, we can't make it the main event because people would be disappointed.
Hip check into a super kick, into another super kick. Hooks the leg on Theory, gets a 2.5 count.
Super Kick City.
Super kick party.
Mm-hmm. We had Suplex City. Why not Super Kick City? Just waiting for Jay to hit that dive to show people he could do it
Yup.
99.9% of the time.
Jay picked Theory up for a Samoan drop, but Theory got out of it. Double team there by A-Town Down Under. Waller hooks the leg, gets a 1, gets a 2 count. Jay kicks out.
Jay, who breaks up first, A-Town Down Under or Fraxium? Because these two have been teased for over a year or two, and we both keep, well, not us, but fans keep calling it that they're gonna break up, and they just keep going.
Big elbow drop by Waller, misses its target. I'd say Fraxium. Jay with the tag to Big Jim. Pop up into a Samoan drop there. Big Jim going to the top rope. Is he looking for that Uso splash? Here comes Theory. Gets kicked. Waller back up, was able to take advantage off that distraction by Theory, trips Big Jim up on the top rope. Waller with Jimmy on the shoulders. Jay tags blindly to Jimmy. Theory tags Waller.
Uh,
Pop up into a spear by the Usos.
that's a
Here
nice
comes
combo.
Theory. 1D.
Mm-hmm.
Jay hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. The Usos just pinned A-Town down under.
Oh man, I kind of like that pop up into a spare. That could be a finisher in and of itself. Take
And
a
go
look at it
again. That
again.
pop up into the spear.
That's a cool looking move.
And then the 1D onto Theory gets the 1, 2, 3.
Damn, Theory folded like an accordion, dude. He stayed folded up.
As Gunther.
Here we go
Gunther said
again.
he was going to make Jay suffer for 10 weeks until Mania. And now Uso and Gunther throwing blows in the middle of the ring here. Super kick rocks Gunther. And another one sends Gunther into the corner. Jey Uso backing up. Oh, he tripped. Jay tripped and Gunther got the advantage. Now ground and pound with those elbows. Here comes Big Jim with a steel chair equalizer. Gunther running.
Ooh, this is WWE's being smart. I guarantee that slip was done on purpose. And then after the accident last week, it's something. Every week is going to be different. He's going to screw something up, and you guys are. It's to make you doubt Jimmy even more, or Jay, I should say. Because I feel like that trip was done on purpose. Like, and call Gunther what you want, by the way, but you can't call him a liar.
Mm-hmm. Jey Uso caught slipping there. Go
Literally,
backstage, Raquel and Liv.
liking that outfit on Raquel.
Joined by Dom Dom and Carlito.
Could get double champ, double Raquel. Two
Liv
belt
reminding
Raquel.
us that she beat Jade on SmackDown.
I didn't even hear what Carlito say. What did he say?
I missed it.
Yeah. I got the volume kind of low, so it's not picked up by the microphone. So
Same.
I heard that. Suerte. Good luck.
Carlito swapped the green apple for a red apple. Reminder, tomorrow on NXT, Stephanie Vakir will defend both championships in one-on-one competition, starting the night defending the NXT Women's Championship against Jada Parker, and main eventing the evening defending the Women's North American Championship against the former champion, Fallon Henley.
Is it possible to book a hospital room like you do a hotel? Because I might need one tomorrow.
A Seeing Adam Pearce in the background there talking to the LWO. Bailey was talking to Lyra before her matchup here. That will be next here on Monday afternoon Raw. Kind of hard to call it Monday Night Raw right now.
Right?
So are we doing NXT tomorrow?
If you want, I got no way. I got no way to watch it, to be honest.
Okay, so we won't bother
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to chance one of the
Hmm.
unconventional streams acting up on me. So
Yeah.
as much as
Exactly.
I want to do it with the double title matches, I'll just hold off and
Mhm.
watch it at 8 o'clock my time.
Yeah. Hopefully, one of those sites works for me to be able to at least watch it.
I mean, worst comes to worst, just watch it on the CW app tomorrow. I
Yeah,
just don't want to rely on it unless we're doing a watch along.
yeah. They did it again back in two
Hmm.
minutes and no Cooper go. I'm liking this. Shout out to that hot rod T-shirt in Scotland.
Yes,
Even though he's Canadian.
I have that shirt also. And getting a little bit of a promo package here for Lyra Valkyria and Raquel Rodriguez as we still have a minute 40 in the commercial break.
I'm wondering if Raw was
For
advertised the first
I
hour.
was just going to
So,
ask for
yeah.
people that are watching here with us, are you guys seeing the video package or do you guys have commercials too? Is it just me and Walter that are getting lucky here or is everybody not getting commercials? Like, let us know.
Right? Please, I want to know because maybe it was advertised as commercial free for the hour. We didn't realize it.
You know what? We just fucking jinxed it. They just realized it because now I got a fucking commercial for tax services
Yep.
with the superstars. Damn it.
Damn it. Yeah, I got a Rhea Ripley pulling up and Rey Mysterio. Oh, they combined all the separate commercials now.
Hmm. They just fucking realized it that they've been giving away the content for free. You know what? Someone's probably watching us. God damn it.
Right? Someone said, "What? What did DJ Walter say?" Hell no.
See, Arlene says, I don't pay for ad free. And at first I wasn't getting ads and now I am. See,
Mm-hmm.
Michael said, I saw the video package, but now getting ads. So it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't just us.
Yeah, they were like, "Oops." You know what's funny? Netflix just took I got it on auto pay. They just took it out today, this morning. Shit went up to $19 or 19.99, $20. Ugh. Might have to investigate and invest in a VPN.
The Fountain Blue Las Vegas, the official hotel of WrestleMania, hosting 4 nights of festivities, including the Hall of Fame, the One Dead Man show, the roast of WrestleMania, and then NXT for Tuesday night.
Nice.
Talking about luchadors here: Blue Demon, the Guerreros, Mil Mascaras, El Grande Americano.
Oh, is this
This is
Chad
the
Gable
Chad
thing?
Gable lucha. Yes, El Grande
Oh,
Americano.
I like this.
This is
This is awesome.
awesome.
Look, we said that at the same time. Oh god, I love when they do shit like this. La historia de la lucha libre americano, the history of the American lucha libre, or luchador, I should say.
Now the legend has returned. God, this is so cheesy, but it's so great. It works so perfectly with Chad Gable.
Yes, it does.
El Grande Americano returns. Even Rey Mysterio is like, what the hell is that, Pierce? Chad Gable turning in a doctor's note to Pierce saying that he can't compete against Dragon Lee tonight. Chad Gable saying, how about Dragon Lee take on El Grande Americano? Dragon Lee saying he doesn't care if it's Gable or El Grande Americano, he'll take the match. Mysterio said Gable's a jackass. Now we're showing some of the celebrities in the audience. Richard Gadd, actor from Baby Reindeer on Netflix, is in the house. Already in the ring, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Kind of sucks that they didn't actually give Raquel her entrance. She's supposed to be alongside the women's champion as a member of Judgment Day, and she gets the jobber already in the ring entrance. And now the Valkyrie has risen as your women's Intercontinental champion. Lyra Valkyria makes her way to the ring. And we also have 3 and 4 day combo tickets available for Tampa, Florida. Saturday night's main event on Saturday, May 24th, NXT Battleground on the 25th, Raw the 26th, and NXT on the 27th. Huge 4 days for Memorial Day weekend in Tampa, Florida.
It's the creepiest call I've ever been on. All right.
Referee Jessica Carr holding the Women's Intercontinental Championship in the air. I mean, it's always possible to have Becky return. This would be a good moment because I don't think they're doing any more Ireland on this tour.
It's true. It's the closest you get into Ireland.
As far as televised, yeah.
Yeah.
Lyra had the gut wrench on Raquel, but Raquel just woman handled Lyra, chucking her across the ring.
I like how you changed that to woman handled.
Jesus Christ. Raquel just picks her up by the midsection and spinning her around before releasing Lyra to the mat.
Mm.
Big Mommy Cool here.
Right?
Grabbing Lyra by the temples, throwing her into the corner. And now Lyra finally trying to get a little something here. Side headlock on Raquel. Raquel pushes her into the ring post. Lyra tries to go up and over, but Raquel catches her onto her shoulder. Lyra slides down the back there. Drop kick to the knee of Raquel. And now trying to go for a suplex, but Raquel too strong. Raquel picks her up onto the shoulders. Lyra trying to do the roll through, but Raquel too strong. Raquel tries to step on her, jams her kneecap a little bit in the stomp. Lyra with a side headlock. Raquel pushes her into the ropes. bounces off up and over wheelbarrow, sends Raquel through the ropes in front of the announced position right next to Liv Morgan.
Raquel too strong for about 80% of the roster, to be honest. As a female
Right?
wrestler.
Like the only women that I feel are a legitimate threat to Raquel are fucking Rhea Ripley, Jordan Grace, Jade Cargill, and Bianca Belair.
Hmm.
None of the other women I feel are like on the strength level of Raquel.
Yep.
Even Liv Morgan is like a fucking toothpick compared to Raquel. And I'm not trying to insult Liv in this instance. I do
Yeah,
that
no.
enough.
Yeah,
Lyra
you
tries to
do.
come off the top rope, but a big boot from Raquel drops her to the mat. Let's look at this again.
Oof.
Boom.
Oh my gosh, she's straight. This is Sparta her.
And we'll be back after this commercial break. Fuck television.
Uh,
Okay, so you're a UFC guy. Are these two guys actually UFC fighters, or are they just
yeah,
actors they got for the commercial?
these are real guys. That's Stephen Thompson and Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland just had a fight last Saturday in England and he won.
Okay. Because you never know when it comes to commercial. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no, yeah. I think that commercial is kind of cool. Like, I like that commercial.
is
Like,
the referee a legitimate UFC ref too? Or was he an
I didn't.
actor?
I think he's an actor.
God damn it, Arlene. Don't blame me.
Yeah. Blame the spies that listen in on us. Shit.
Right? No, no, no. It's all your fault for wanting Thea Hale to turn heel on us.
All right.
That it's all your fault, Arlene. Matthew says he's going to try to see if he can go to one of the four shows. I don't know. If I had the choice of those four, I would either do Saturday night's main event or NXT Battleground. Because Saturday night main event is once a quarter, so that's more special. And it's been a while since Saturday night's main event was a thing.
Mhm.
Or I'd want to go to the PLE. Raw or a standard NXT, eh, those come around enough. So I would do one of those two shows, Matthew, if I had to choose. No, we're not going to do JJ's fuck television count because that's a Noah shtick. That's cool. He said he was thinking about Saturday Night Main Event or NXT. He needs to talk to Papa Gino. He thinks that he wanted to try to meet up. So that would be cool because we're going to do a watch along for Saturday night's main event. We're going to do a watch along for Battleground. So if you guys are on the ground at one of those shows, we can always send you the link to pop in between matches and whatnot and after the show to give us your live thoughts. As we're back here live with Raquel still dominating this matchup, you almost got to wonder what Lyra is going to have to do to be able to successfully retain here. Slingshot suplex from Raquel, hooks the legs, gets a 2.5 count. Look at this again. The slingshot into the suplex, almost jackhammer-esque the way that Raquel landed on top of Lyra with the delivery. I used to do the slingshot suplex when I wrestled too. Raquel dragging Lyra into the corner there. Misses with the aerial maneuver there. Lyra climbing up to the top rope. Leg drop off the top across the head and neck of Raquel. Rolls her over, hooks the leg, gets a 2 count. Look at that again. Jesus, that leg drop. Lyra deadlifting Raquel onto her shoulders, but Raquel, too strong, slides off the back there, runs in with clothesline to the back of the head and neck. Hits the corkscrew elbow drop, this time successfully, gets a 2 count in the corner. Don't forget that Raquel defeated Bayley to get this opportunity here. Picking Lyra up by the hair. Raquel driving her, setting her up in the far corner there closest to the entrance ramp. Lyra trying to fight back with some elbows to the face of Raquel. Goes for the crossbody. Raquel catches her. Goes for a stalling vertical, but Lyra able to counter into a DDT. Raquel very close to the ropes, and Liv assists her partner, putting her leg on the bottom rope, like she needed the help. Lyra tries again to get Raquel on the shoulders. Unable to, goes for the big boot. Lyra ducks down, gets to attack Liv. Raquel looking for the Tejana, but a head scissors takedown, and Lyra just stole it here. Your winner and still Women's Intercontinental Champion, Lyra Valkyria, now live in double teaming Lyra. And here comes Bayley. Role models music hits, and she runs down to the ramp. Liv Morgan comes to try to cut Bayley off at the pass. Bayley now delivering some shots to Raquel. Knee to the midsection from Raquel. Bayley going up. Trying the Tejana bomb again, but Lyra able to save her. And now both women just toss Raquel up and over the top rope.
Holla, 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 player. Guarantee it.
I mean, we don't really know what Bayley's road to WrestleMania is like, so if it is a tag title opportunity, it's not a bad thing here.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I agree with Vox, though. I think it would have been better to have Becky return here, since Becky kind of was the one putting Lyra over in NXT.
I shit you not. I had the TV on mute, and I thought that said Becky, and then when I looked again, I was like, "Oh, that says Bayley." Okay.
Another thing that's going to compete with television on a Wednesday night, big night with Pat McAfee and friends in Pittsburgh, Wednesday, April 9th. Sold out in minutes. It'll be streamed on YouTube, apparently. That's going to be competing with WWE Evolve. That's going to be competing with Stephanie's Places. And I think some other wrestling company has a show on Wednesdays nights. I'm not sure. Nobody else ever seems to tune into it. So I'm not sure if it's still on the air or not. Maybe the people in the chat can let me know.
Certainly going down
I'm sorry, did I say that out loud?
Yeah. Oh my god, this dude in the kill. Too bad Drew was on SmackDown, huh? Because they were in Glasgow. I didn't buy it, I rented it.
Pat saying that he went old school underneath the kilt, which means he's wearing nothing under the kilt because that's the traditional way to wear it.
Yeah, we didn't need to know that much, Pat.
And then speaking of Ireland, we're taking a look at the road to the Clash in Paris. And the next European trip we'll be taking, as we'll be getting live events in Dublin, Ireland, France, England, Paris, Lyon. So many things coming up here. Of course, that's around the same time as Forbidden Door. Now we're taking a trip back to Io Sky's celebration as the Women's World Champion.
Mm.
Confrontation with Io, Bianca, and Rhea.
This could have been done a lot better.
Could have
I feel
been
like
done a
they,
lot worse, though.
yeah. This the mommy feels like a third wheel in me. At first it felt like Io. Now it feels like mommy is. But I mean, how many? We kind of all knew that this was heading to the three-way.
I mean, if we're being real, Bianca's the one that doesn't really fit in here because, to Rhea's point, she's got the stuff going on with Naomi and Jade.
Mm-hmm.
And even Jade called her out on that shit, like, prioritizing herself over her and Naomi.
Yep. They've been going back and forth on Twitter, which I love that they're keeping that up.
Hmm.
And remember that Bianca is the undefeated one on WrestleMania. And if anybody's just going to be transitional of the three, Io makes the most sense, like to not have a long reign. I'm not saying they should do that. I'm just saying, like, you would get more pissed if if Bianca won the title and lost it, what, 3 weeks later or a month later.
Yeah.
Io, not so much. No offense to her, but I know you know what I mean. I'm not explaining it as well as I should, but out of the
No, I
three,
get you.
yeah, yeah.
See, and all three women have officially signed the contract. So that is a legally binding document now.
Oh Lord.
Now here's Adam Pierce now with the contract in hand. We're going to find out what is going to be official coming up next here.
See, Raw adds things without advertising it.
And we're in a commercial. Fuck television. God
I
damn
had,
you.
I had to keep it going.
That's a Noah shtick. Don't do that for me. I only say it because the fans seem to expect it, but when we do the count, that's got to be a Noah thing. We got to keep something special to Noah.
That's true. I just
It's
wanted
just
to make
like
you
the whole
pop.
something thing with James. Like that's got to be just his thing that we do.
Oh,
If
they
me and you
started.
did it here right now, it would be funny, but it
Hmm.
wouldn't have the same effect because James isn't here to react to it.
Yeah, I just wanted to make you pop after everything from yesterday, but yeah, they started a new one with
Oh,
me.
so you're over here trying to kiss my ass. I see what's up, Walter.
But no, yesterday they started a new one with me, or Saturday, whatever the first gaming was, with just a minute, because Donatello says just a
Oh,
minute when you do his combo thing, and that's all they heard the whole stream. So now people just started going just a minute to troll me. So now that became a thing.
I wondered what that was about. I saw it a little bit in the chat on Shenanigans, but I didn't get what it was.
Yeah.
And to Safet here, Rhea has to earn it to get a shot at the title. She was the last champion. For as long as the history of time, as far as I know, when the champion loses the belt, they've got an automatic rematch.
Hmm.
So she doesn't have to earn it. She was the last champion and she has not gotten her rematch yet.
It's true.
That's all she needs. We're seeing a commercial now. They realized what the heck was going on, and now we're getting commercials, hence the fuck television shtick.
Hmm.
I hate how John Cena didn't go in depth why he aligned himself with The Rock. Okay. Number one, we get John Cena for 3 weeks. This was only week
Hmm.
2. Number two, I said this on Shenanigans. I don't know if you saw it. If you didn't see it, you might want to start tuning into Shenanigans because that's where we discuss this stuff. John Cena did say why he aligned himself with The Rock. We just didn't realize that he was saying it at the time. Go back to the media scrum after the Royal Rumble when he talked about what is best for business. That is why he aligned himself with The Rock.
Hmm.
And now we're getting a Hall of Fame announcement. We're showing footage of Triple H. Okay. The SummerSlam Intercontinental title ladder match. This was the match that made me a fan of The Rock, honestly, because I had started watching wrestling going into this match.
Oh, okay.
The Highway to Hell. I used to have this on VHS.
I saw all this.
They kind of changed the direction of a ladder match because if you think about it, the ladder match prior to this had been, the whole Shawn and Razor thing. These guys used the ladder as weapons. Really weren't doing high spots. That wouldn't evolve until the No Mercy ladder match with the Hardys and Edge and Christian. But these guys really kind of used the ladders as weapons, whereas when it was Shawn and Razor, the ladder was just kind of the tool to be used to get the title. They didn't really use it as weapons.
Hmm.
This made the ladder a big weapon. You could see the blood. And newly announced this morning, the natural disasters, earthquake and typhoon, will be taking their place in the Hall of Fame alongside the game Triple H, alongside Lex Luger, the total package, and alongside Mrs. Undertaker, Michelle McCool.
Yeah, take a look at the
Seeing Jey
Usos.
Uso in the stairwell, Big Jim comes to console his brother.
The older one.
Jim saying that he's seen that Jay's been all up in his head. Jim reminding Jay that if you keep up with this, you will not win WrestleMania. You had the kill shot and you slipped. I think
E-
you're onto something, Walter. That was done to be an intentional thing.
Hmm.
Last week was an accident. This was done to run on that.
Hmm.
Jimmy's saying that Jay can't beat him. Saying needs the right hand man. If you want to beat Gunther, you need to be the right hand man. You have to be the Oos that won the Rumble. Jimmy looks like he sees something.
I was gonna say, what is he looking on?
Oh, Gunther was walking by. Big Jim versus Gunther next week. He says, sure, as long as you don't trip and fall like your brother, Jimmy slaps the shit out of Gunther.
Yo, he literally slapped the hell out of him.
It's all right. We know Gunther and those chops. He's going to get Big Jim back with them chops next week.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew pointing out Jay just botched saying he's 3-0 against Gunther when he's actually 0-3. But I think that was intentional too, just to show how Gunther's in his head.
Yep. As soon as I saw him
I
slip,
think
it
you're
just
onto something there, Walter.
as soon as you saw the slip, it just looked purposeful, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna say he's in his head and make you doubt it.
Adam Pearce in the ring talking about the women's contract. Says he holds the contract for WrestleMania between Bianca Belair and Io Sky. Last week, Rhea thought it was appropriate to start a fight, scribble her signature on the contract if it makes anything official. Rhea Ripley is not in the match.
Mm.
You can boo if you want. The matches between Io Sky and Bianca Belair.
I like that they're doing this.
Says Rhea Ripley has a rematch I've been trying to nail her down on for weeks while Bianca Belair earned her opportunity.
No lies detected.
Says Rhea wants it on her time. Up, here comes Io. Adam Pearce was starting to say Rhea wants it on her time, therefore, and then Io's music hit. I think Io wants the triple threat.
Yeah, I think that's what's gonna end up happening.
I think that she's going to want it. You know, Io is one of those women that doesn't play up how gorgeous she is, but is actually really gorgeous.
Yeah, she is cute.
Io
She
says it
got it.
doesn't matter who it is. I will take on both of them. Because I am the women's world champion. And here comes Bianca,
Probably gonna say
the
something similar. I'll take on both of
EST
them.
of the WWE, the woman who put the EST in WrestleMania.
God damn, Bianca. Sheesh. Gotta look, make sure Alicia ain't there.
Bianca reiterating what Pierce said. So I'm not about to let Rhea headbutt her way into this match. She doesn't deserve it. And here comes Mommy.
Damn, all three of these women looking good with they're wearing shit.
Hmm. Rhea says, honestly, I don't give a damn about WrestleMania. And I don't care who I have to go through to get my title back. All I want is my rematch. EO getting pie faced again. How much longer is EO going to take this disrespect?
About 5 minutes. Cause look,
Next week on Raw, Rhea gets her rematch, and the winner gets to face Bianca at WrestleMania.
okay.
Rhea and Bianca still jaw jacking. Here comes EO up and over into a DDT on Rhea.
That was a cool ass looking move.
Forearm shot to EO. EO set up on Bianca's shoulders, looking for the KOD, but a Japanese arm drag into a big boot from Rhea. Rhea sends EO up and over. EO lands on her feet. European uppercut from EO. Bianca lifts EO up, looking like she was going for Jaded. EO rolls through. Bianca with a clothesline sends Rhea outside of the ring. Goes for a clothesline on EO. EO hangs Bianca up on the top rope. Flying hit
Okay.
scissors takes down Rhea Ripley on the outside. And now EO gets back up to the ring mat. Springboard off the top, lands on her feet. Bianca has EO up. KOD sends EO to the outside into the arms of Rhea Ripley. Both women land on the mat, and Bianca stands tall with the Women's World Heavyweight Championship in the air.
Mm. You know that's gonna be a no finish next week.
Or a time limit draw or a double pinfall. There's going to be something. You're right. And now there is Penta El Cielo Miedo. Dominic's telling Benta that I know you're good, but you could be better. Dominic telling Penta he could be Intercontinental Champion tonight if he's down to join Judgment Day. Just think about it.
Hmm.
Still to come tonight. We also still have CM Punk and Dragon Lee versus El Grande Americano.
Mm-hmm.
And we're on
That's
commercial. Fuck television.
the name they're going with. I like that.
That was a little heelish of Bianca there.
Damn sure
Bianca
was.
teasing a little heel turn.
Mm-hmm. Yo looked strong until the end though, so I like that she got her licks in.
Mm-hmm.
Do they give the same? Are you getting a Battery Plus commercial?
Yes.
Okay, so even commercials are the same. It's definitely leading to a triple threat, though.
Hmm. We knew it would.
Of course. Damn, Braun doesn't like taxes.
Nobody likes taxes, bro.
I know.
It's like you show me somebody that likes taxes, and I'm not talking about like fucking Jacoby and Myers and shit, the fucking people that do your taxes.
Hmm.
So next week's Raw is already looking like it's going to be a stacked show.
Yeah,
Gunther
definitely.
versus Jay Uso, Rhea versus Io. Winner gets Bianca at Mania.
Hmm.
Commercial for WWE World Las Vegas where you can meet all the superstars. Pretty sure Los Domingos will be there for part of that. And then the One Dead Man show, Undertaker telling stories of his career.
Mm.
I know Arlene was going to try to get your promo graphic signed by Jada Parker, but apparently she's only doing photo ops, no autographs.
Yeah, that's all
I told
right.
her you should print it out anyways. And when you get her for the photo op, be like, hey, my friend uses this to promote his shit online. Will you sign it for him anyway?
Yeah, you
And she
never
may
know.
she may be so flattered by it that she'll do it.
You never know. I will forever be in your debt. That happens, Arlene.
Getting a War Raiders video package. Kofi and Xavier Woods going into Pierce's office.
Poor Pierce. He looks so frustrated.
Says they deserve a shot at the titles.
Poor Pierce.
Bianca's going to be the referee next week for Io and Rhea.
Jeez. That was an interesting twist. I wasn't expecting that.
I mean, what better way? Bianca controls her destiny. Who does she want to face?
Yeah, she gonna lay them both out.
But I like the little twist with the New Day there, how they came in wanting a title match at WrestleMania, and Pierce is like, how about you come in here talking about you want to prove that you deserve a title opportunity?
That's true.
Here we go. Our first look at El Grande Americano, his own music.
Who was he gonna face? Rey Mysterio?
Dragon Lee
Oh,
from the Gulf of America. El Grande Americano.
I love that they went there.
He even does the Chad Gable a thank you taunt. Like, come on, bro. Almost everything else you're doing is not Chad Gable, but then you did the a thank you. And it's
Hmm.
like, bro, that killed it right there. I mean, granted, he's not the first guy to do a double peace sign, but Chad Gable is definitively trying to convince us it's not him, and then you did one of his things.
That's true.
Dragon Lee comes right in, both men with some standing switches. El Grande Americano doing some great amateur wrestling here.
Jeez, wonder if he has an amateur wrestling background.
Nice lucha arm drag by El Grande Americano. These fans in Scotland doing an Olay chant. Chop to Dragon Lee in the corner. Irish whip reversal sends El Grande into the corner. Up and over the top rope goes Dragon Lee. And a nice forearm smash from El Grande Americano drops Dragon Lee to the mats. El Grande Americano hits the ropes, but Dragon Lee with a head scissors takedown sends El Grande to the outside. Suicide dive through the ropes goes Dragon Lee, dropping El Grande Americano on the mats outside.
Hmm.
Dragon Lee throws El Grande Americano back into the ring. And Dragon Lee going to the mask there. Dragon Lee
Cool.
knows how disrespectful it is for the mask to be ripped off. And that's what he's
Surprised he
trying to
did.
do to El Grande Americano.
Surprised he did that.
Dragon Lee goes for a power bomb, but El Grande Americano transitions it into a Hurricane Lana. El Grande with the pinfall gets a 2 count. Both men fighting on the ring apron outside here. Nice knee strike. El Grande with a nice overhead suplex sends both men to the outside mats. Look at this again in slow mo. And we go to commercial. Fuck television.
Ah, nice slow motion move.
And we're doing a Goya black beans commercial while we got a lucha mask going. You know what, Matthew? I agree with you there. I want to see if there's any other footage of Grande Americano from his lucha days, his early work. Still on commercial, folks. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm getting a weird some insurance. Oh, what is this? Oh, some kind of video on demand crap.
Now we're getting a rum commercial. Kraken spiced rum. But why is the rum always gone?
Mm-hmm.
In my house, it's gone because we don't carry rum. We are back now live. Dragon Lee trying to get into a dominant position here with El Grande Americano. Nice takeover. Hooks the leg, gets a 2 count on El Grande. El Grande ducks the clothesline and a knee strike from Dragon Lee drops El Grande Americano. Both men in a precarious position on the turnbuckle here. Dragon Lee looks like he wants to suplex El Grande Americano to the outside. El Grande tied up in the tree of woe there. Dragon Lee climbing up. Double stomp to the chest of El Grande Americano sends him to the outside. Look at this again. Almost a swerve stomp. Coup de
That's a
grace.
nice stunt.
But Dragon Lee looks like he might have rocked his kneecap there. You can see him kind of flex it, get some blood and circulation back.
Mm-hmm. Referee's at what, 6?
7. Dragon Lee trying to stand, but he dropped. 9. El Grande and Dragon Lee both roll into the ring.
Well, that was totally not expected.
I thought maybe El Grande would win there because Dragon Lee couldn't get back to his feet.
You know?
Both men chopping back and forth in the middle of the ring. Knife edge chops by El Grande, overhand chops by Dragon Lee. Boot to the face. Roaring elbow from El Grande. Slingshot German suplex from Dragon Lee to El Grande Americano. Super kick rocks El Grande. Dragon Lee back in the corner. Up and over, overhead release suplex by El Grande. Forearm on the throat, hooks the leg, only gets a 2 count. Look at this again.
Nice, beautiful. Oh my God, his head almost went straight into the turnbuckle before the flip happened. Whoa, that was dangerously close. I don't know if it was just because the slow motion, but that was close at least in the replay.
El Grande Americano ascending the top rope. Moonsault lands on his feet. What have we got here? Dragon Lee counters whatever it was into a huge power bomb. El Grande Americano kicks out. Dragon Lee thinks he's in top position here, says that's it. Sets El Grande up in the ropes there. Crowd chanting, "This is awesome." I do agree.
Can't wait to learn more about this person. First time we get to see him, and he makes a
Oh,
big debut on Monday Night Raw.
Dragon Lee had his mask ripped off.
Ooh.
Dragon Lee doing everything he can to protect his identity. Ankle lock from El Grande Americano. Dragon Lee taps. Still doing everything he can to keep his identity covered, protected. Both hands over his face.
Mm.
We need to get a towel or something so that we can cover his face.
Right. You disrespectful son of a bitch.
I'm not sure if that was intentional. I mean, it might have been, but it looked like it was a complete accident.
Yeah, I hope.
In execution, it looked accidental, but it also could have been planned to be like that. So I'd love to see
Yeah,
a replay of that.
you just never know.
I feel like that's how we know. If they show a replay of it, then you know it was planned. If they don't, it might have been accidental.
Yeah,
And I agree, Chad Gable should be fighting for the WWE Championship, but that was El Grande Americano. That wasn't Chad Gable.
exactly. Well, what a debut for him to be on Monday Night Raw. They didn't have to go through the NXT system, didn't have to go to LFG. Good for him. Just straight from the Gulf of America to Monday Night Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Debuting overseas, big name we fought against. Might have a bright future on this guy.
I agree. Could see him winning the Intercontinental Championship.
Hmm.
Now we're taking a look at the footage from last week on SmackDown in Italy, Bologna, Italy. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, CM Punk. This was a great segment here.
Yeah, that was three of the biggest stars. Can you just imagine main eventing and there's nothing like on the line? That's unprecedented if they do that. And we still don't know what the favor is. That's the big part. That's the X factor in all this. We don't know what the favor is.
Mm-hmm.
That's the mistake right there. We just saw Pump bring it up. I feel like he should have got attacked when he brought it up. Otherwise, why you bringing it up if you're gonna start the attack and not mention it anymore? But that's just nitpicking. But I just feel like it would have made more sense if he got interrupted in the middle of trying to tell the secret or the favor and got beat up. But anyways,
See, and the $1 million question is who wins this match?
who takes the fall too? And what do they win? Just pride?
Well, if Punk wins, he proves that neither one of them can beat him. If Seth wins and pins Punk, he still couldn't beat him without Roman's help because it was a triple threat. Same with Roman. If Roman pins Punk, still couldn't beat him without the other one's help. If
Yeah,
Seth
that's true.
pins Roman, finally, then it proves that it could have been done all along, just wasn't. If Roman wins, he proves that he is still the dominant force in the WWE, championship or not, as we get the voice of the voiceless, the Second City Saint, CM Punk, the cult of personality himself, coming to the ring.
You know he's gonna have to. You might have to duck and cover because the pipe bomb might be dropped. He's gonna have a lot to say after Friday.
It's clobbering time.
What are the chances he gets interrupted?
Of course he will. The question is by who?
hmm
We haven't seen Roman on Raw since the Netflix debut.
True.
I would almost rather see Roman interrupt Punk than Seth because it shows how big this is that Roman is now showing up on Raw.
hmm
If Roman stays on his own island of relevancy over on SmackDown, that doesn't really do much because Seth is already a Raw guy. But if Roman comes to Raw, that's big.
That's true. And you know, if rumors doesn't believe, again, grain of salt rumors, the Netflix wanted Roman to be up there.
Mm-hmm. Now we're getting that tax commercial with Rey Mysterio.
Dude, I'm curious to know literally how many masks does that man own?
I think it's hilarious that they show him like ironing a mask.
Yeah.
This commercial I think is dumb. The Snickers pecan one.
Yeah. Spill the tea, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious the first couple of times because she took it so literal. But then the more I see it, the more I'm like, this chick couldn't be that dumb. Like, come on. Got about 30 seconds till Rock comes back on the air. Oh, here's that UFC commercial. You can see if the ref is anybody.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Not that I recognize.
Hmm. Should have used Herb Dean.
Right?
That's like the most iconic UFC referee.
hmm
Again, hyping up Stephanie's Places, which premieres this Wednesday on ESPN Plus, part of Disney Plus and Hulu, featuring CM Punk on the first episode. You can see Stone Cold, Rhea Ripley, Undertaker.
I can't believe Stephanie and CM Punk are doing.
Mm-hmm. Talking about his return at Survivor Series. Talking about how Punk and Triple H are more similar than either one of them really wants to admit. That should be a good
Mm.
show. I may have to give that a look.
hmm
And there's the official graphic for WrestleMania, the triple threat match. Punk versus Rollins versus Roman. I I don't know about that one, man. I know my daughter loves her some Roman Reigns, and I'm a Punk guy. I think the only thing we can agree on is that we don't want Seth to win.
Yep, my wife loves Roman Reigns. You guys think I'm something when I yell Mamacita. Whenever he Reigns is on TV, she yells, "Hey, Daddy!" So look, and I let her get away with it.
God, look at how many people are there for Raw. Punk saying he's not in a good mood. As he's pissed off, but it's hard to be mad when you come out to an ovation like he did.
Wife saying you have no choice but to let me. Sheesh.
Punk says he's a little tired, he's jet lagged, he hasn't slept well. But now he knows his road to WrestleMania. But what he wants, he's not getting. Or am I? Look at that smile. Says wanted to win the Rumble, but he didn't. Then he needed to win the Chamber, but he didn't. And the more things change, the more they stay the same. So he was screwed at Chamber, which prevented him from getting to what he wanted.
Elephant in the room.
It's
Just
two
say it.
people, it's personal. For him, it's just business. The two men that stand in my way from getting what he wants have got to go. Talks about how Seth is a crybaby and Roman says Roman is seen in real time like everyone else that his wise man isn't just his wise man. Then he gives a little wink to the camera.
Interesting.
Contract signing on SmackDown this Friday.
Let her grade down.
Seth Roman, fuel up the jet since you couldn't grace us with your presence here. I'll see you at the contract signing in London. But before we put pen to the paper, I want you to listen to two things. Number one, neither of you have ever defeated me without the other one's help because you can't. reiterating what he said on SmackDown.
Uh-huh.
And the last thing, I brought you into this business. I cannot wait to be the man that takes you both out of it.
Oh,
Best in the world.
you asked for that on Saturday. You said, "I
I
hope he makes it
did.
jailed." Holy shit! I mean, he didn't directly say it, but he pretty much said what you asked.
Mhm.
It's coming together, man.
God, I want him to go more in depth on it because that would just be such great television. You guys wouldn't even have a job if it wasn't for me.
Not just
I
for him.
handpicked you, and you were forced into this position just like you were forced down the fans' throats for the last 10 years.
And it'll be a nice, neat bow on a story that never got a conclusion early.
Hmm.
I mean, earlier. Yeah.
And then he can even allude to Mox without saying and be like, and the other guy I picked seems to
hmm
want to have pieces of wood with nails shoved into his back.
The other guy's so depressed he's trying to kill himself.
Logan Paul calling out AJ Styles for next week in London. Again, special start time, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. We may go ahead and do this again next week. Logan Paul calls out AJ Styles, Jimmy Uso versus the Reign General Gunther. John Cena and Cody Rhodes will be face to face once again for the third week in a row. If they're going to get physical, next week's going to be the week it happens. Io Sky will defend her championship against the former champion Rhea Ripley. Bianca Belair will be the guest referee, and the winner of the match will get to face Bianca at WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas.
I don't think a referee's outfit would never look any more sexy than that.
And before all that, tomorrow night on the CW NXT, Stephanie Vaquer, the double champion, will defend both championships, starting the night by defending the NXT Women's Championship against Jada Parker, and main eventing by defending the North American Championship against the former champion, Fallon Henley.
We go
Kathy
backstage.
Kelly talking to Braun Breaker ahead of their match.
I'm still not 100% with that new design of the title.
I like it. I feel like it's enough of a throwback to the old school Intercontinental title that like Randy Savage held.
hmm
Before it got morphed into the rectangular one that everyone knows.
Yeah. Back to commercials. What's this one?
Yep. That's why I didn't
Massey.
even say it.
Oh, a gum commercial. Okay. So chances of a pull apart brawl on SmackDown because it's a contract signing.
Oh, 100%.
Damn,
100%.
poor Aaron's gonna suffer through putting a letter grade down because of the contract, and then it's a pull apart brawl.
Hmm. He's got both to worry about. Two for one.
I mean, maybe he'll give it a break because it'll be early. He's got a VPN, so I think he watches SmackDown when they air it.
Hate these
Mm,
commercials.
me too. That's why I got quiet. I was trying to think of this stuff, but jeez. Hold. All right, here we go. Yeet shirt. I gotta give me. I gotta support Jay. I don't got any. I got all these. I got a freaking Jacob Fatu shirt before I got a Jay Uso shirt.
Right. But yeah, I feel like the new IC championship kind of looks like a throwback to that.
Yeah, I remember that with Tito Santana.
Yeah, if I get a Jey Uso shirt, I'm gonna go to Timu. I actually saw a Yeet Mania shirt
Mm.
that I think I'll get.
I feel like Timu. I can't trust them. They won't. The size won't be right to my big ass.
The sizes run pretty good.
Oh, okay.
I've gotten a couple things. I usually go a size up anyways, just so that the laundry, if it shrinks a little bit. So I usually give myself a 3X anyways, and they
Hmm.
usually fit good.
Oh, okay.
But here we go. It is time for our main event of the evening, the Intercontinental Championship. Penta El Zero Miedo versus the champion, Braun Breaker.
I see title getting what it deserves. A main event spot. All right. Oh, I think Penta said I'll sign that on the way back out.
Penta teaching kids to throw gang signs.
Right. It's hilarious, actually.
I mean, stop me when I'm telling lies.
It's true.
Hell, even Matt Hardy was throwing up gang signs with the V1.
Especially where I'm from, that's actually seriously one.
Same down in Long Beach.
You know what's funny? It's like I really don't know where they go here. Penta can actually win this damn title. I mean,
I mean, does Braun Breaker retain and we have another multi man match at WrestleMania with all the people that have challenged and fallen to Braun Breaker with
hmm
guys like Sheamus and Penta and Finn? Or do we put the title on Penta and maybe build to Penta versus El Grande Americano?
yeah, exactly.
And I think Penta versus El Grande Americano would be better.
Me too,
As
to be
stupid
honest.
as it sounds, I think that would be better.
It don't sound stupid to me. I think it would be better too. And
I
then, because
I just
then,
think it's dumb because of the gimmick. Like we know who it is,
yeah,
but we got to try and play like we don't know who it is.
hmm the worst kept
So
secret.
that's why I think it's stupid.
Yeah.
But I think there's money there because the whole thing has been conquering the dark arts of the lucha libre. And Penta's
hmm
about as dark of a lucha as you can get.
Can you imagine if they did that right? And when Chad is there, like Americano comes out too, and he's like looking like Chad comes out as himself. Americano comes out too, and he's like, "Wait a minute, that's me. Why is?" And when after they beat Chad up, you take the mask off, and there's another mask, and it's Ray Phoenix was underneath and just helped Penta become the champ.
That would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
But here we go. Intercontinental Championship match. Bell sounds, and here we go for our main event.
Damn, Penta's been what 3 months, 2 months in the company already gets a main event IC title match.
Yeah, about 2 months because he debuted the Raw after the debut, so the 13th of January.
Damn,
So a little over 2 months with the company.
Tony really don't know what he had, man.
Whole crowd here in Glasgow chanting, "Let's go, Penta."
Uh-huh.
Listing off Penta's accomplishments: TNA champion, TNA tag team champion. Irish whip sends Braun into the ropes. Braun ducks the clothesline. Braun getting up ahead of steam. Nice clothesline takes down Penta. Braun trying to get the dogs barking here.
Even if they could mention the other company, they can't mention any accomplishments. Signed a contract over there, did nothing else.
Braun sends Penta into the ropes. Now Penta getting some steam. Nice flying hit scissors. Takes down Braun Breaker. Now Braun moving in the shadows. Penta springboard into a knee strike by Braun.
Mm.
Penta rocked and outside the ring in front of the announce position.
You
Both
know,
men
I'm
wearing red here tonight, too. That's kind of an interesting choice.
right. Oof.
Braun comes off the ring apron. Nice side clothesline. Takes Penta down over the announce table. Both men on the ground. Braun looks like he's holding his hip. He may have done some damage there. And here comes Dominic and Carlito from the Judgment Day. Of
Freaking
course,
Braun,
the
man.
offer has been made for Penta to join the Judgment Day here. We will have to see what happens if they're getting involved here. Fuck television.
Freaking Braun, man. Big men should not be moving like that. He like, sheesh, he could do it all.
Now, you know what? We haven't done this all show. We still got about 2 minutes left in the commercial break, so we will be right back. Here is everything coming up that we will be doing watch alongs for. And there may even be a thing or two that get added last minute into all this. We will be right back.
And now for a taste of things to come.
All the
Oh,
wrestling.
I was just gonna do it too.
Yeah, and
Damn it!
apparently AEW has made a special dynamite for the Wednesday going into Mania, the same day we have the Dragon Gate show. It's supposed to be a spring break something episode of Dynamite, and apparently that is the week that Dynamite will surpass Nitro for longest, for longevity.
Yep, I was gonna bring that up on the Spaces Wednesday as one of the topics.
I'm sure we'll be doing a watch along of that in addition to the Dragon Gate show. Just waiting
Hmm.
for an official graphic for it because right now the only graphic I can find on the AEW website doesn't announce that it's a special episode, and the graphic I find on social is from like the lower third that they showed on Collision, so it's kind of blurry and not high res.
Uh,
As we're back to this matchup, Penta with a super kick just took Braun Breaker down to the mat. Both men spent, both men on the canvas, trying to get their wherewithal back about them. Penta to his
wow.
feet first, now grabbing Braun by the head. Penta has Braun hooked, but Braun counters out, pushes Penta into the ropes. Penta getting a little bit of minor offense here. Sling blade from Penta to Braun Breaker, sending Braun to the outside. And now Penta with his swagger there goes for the suicide dive through the ropes, but a European uppercut from Breaker rocks Penta. Braun has Penta set up on the shoulders here. Looked like he
Skeleton.
was going for a gut buster, but Penta countered it into a backstabber. Shades of Carlito, who is on the outside there from the Judgment Day. We saw him and Dominic coming down to the ring before he went to commercial. I
Mm-hmm.
wonder if Carlito thinks it's cool or not that Penta just tried to use one of his moves.
Right.
Penta's calling for the Destroyer, I think. Runs in, tries to go up, but Braun counters, catches the legs, gets him up onto the shoulders.
Braun too big to
And
get.
now we get that gut buster from Braun. A little bit of a stall there with it. Gets a 2.5 count. Penta kicks out. The power of Braun Breaker there, because Penta is no small man. Look at this again. The elevation holds it and then drops him across the knees for that gut buster. Braun in the corner, stalking his prey. Runs into a super kick from Penta. Now an Insiguri from Penta rocking Braun. Braun getting set up on the top rope. Penta on the middle ropes here. Penta falls down. Braun mounting a little bit of offense here. Looking for a super gut buster maybe off the middle ropes. Penta
Maybe.
trying to fight. Penta runs nice head scissors takedown over the ropes. Great offense there by Penta El Cielo Miedo. Penta
Nice.
hits the ropes. Tope con hello over the top rope. Look at Carlito. He's stoked, giving Dominic 5 on the outside like, yeah, that's what's up. Both men down on the entrance ramp side of the mat. Penta throws Braun back into the ring here. You know, Penta is still trying to find the opportunity to hit that Mexican Destroyer. Looks like he may be going for it here. He's calling for it.
Mm-hmm.
Runs in, up and over, spikes Braun Breaker with the Destroyer.
I'm shocked he was able to do that to Breaker.
Gets a nice lateral cover, but doesn't hook the leg. That could have been what cost Penta right there as Braun kicks out. Look at it again here. Up, over, spike. Penta smartly rolling Braun away from the ropes, but he did not hook the leg.
He's also focusing on Dom and Carlito like he was counting 3 looking at them.
You got to be aware of the people on the outside.
True.
You can't let it distract you from the match, but you've also got to beware, you know. The Judgment Day aren't exactly baby faces, so are they going to seriously try to help him or not? Like he was setting up for the Penta driver.
Penta definitely wouldn't fit the Judgment Day.
Braun Breaker up top, Frankensteiner off the top, shades of his uncle, hooks the leg, deep hook. Penta kicks out. Just the speed and agility for a dude that size to scale the ropes and execute that Frankensteiner off the top. And the straps are coming down. Braun is getting ready to execute his spear here. Braun thinks he's got this one in the bag. Got the crowd barking. The dogs are barking in Glasgow. And now Dominic up on the ring apron distracting. There's Carlito on the other side. Carlito brought in the hard way by Braun. Spear to Carlito from Braun Breaker. And Dominic chop blocks Braun. And there's the bell. Match thrown out. This is a disqualification. Braun Breaker is going to win here via DQ. Now Braun Breaker fighting back. And Finn Balor in with a chair to the back of Braun. Where did Finn come from? We haven't seen him all night.
Might have been the setup the whole time by Judgment Day.
Now Finn looking at Dom with the chair like he's going to crack Dominic. Giving Dom the chair to go to Braun. And now Dominic just giving it to Braun with that chair to the throat and the chest. Penta's like, what's going on here? And now Dom handing the chair to Penta. Finn's like, what are you doing? Why are you giving him the chair? Is Penta with the Judgment Day?
Look at that. Métale, hit him, do it. That's what
throws the chair to Dom, super kicks the chair, almost a Van Daminator of sorts. Penta is not with the Judgment Day. Finn is pissed because he knew that was going to happen. And now Finn stomping on Penta, gets the chair. and cracks Braun to the back, sending Braun to the outside. Now throwing the chair down in front of Dominic. Finn Balor is not happy with Dom Dom right now. Coup de grace to Penta.
Hmm.
Finn extends his arm to Dom to bring him back to his feet. Finn seemingly telling Dom, it's the three of us. We're the Judgment Day, not Penta. As Balor, Carlito, and Mysterio stand tall over the fallen Penta El Cielo Miedo.
So
And
now it's
that is going to do it for this week's episode of Monday Afternoon Raw.
Praxium, Aton Down Under, and Judgment Day. Is like, which one breaks up first? Because every time you think they're doing it.
Right?
Oh, that was Monday Night Raw.
All in all, I think it was a solid episode.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to definitely take some time to marinate it over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure we'll be discussing it a little bit in the spaces tomorrow. Casa D18 Studio, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. I'm sure we'll be discussing it a little bit on Wednesday when Walter hosts spaces.
Yeah, I'm gonna change the time on that one. I'll get back to you because I got an appointment with the car, so it'll probably be more like 5 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. No NXT watch along, no Dynamite watch along. Might do Impact this week just because there's going to be a lot of NXT crossover stuff.
Was that other show you said before that? Because
I know. I actually did it this time. No SmackDown watch along because we don't have a VPN to be able to do it live. So by the time it airs for us, it'll already be old.
yeah, and everybody was spoiled the hell out of it.
Mm-hmm. I believe there has been talk, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Since the KSI match has been canceled, you and James are supposed to be doing a watch along of that George Foreman match on Saturday.
Yeah, we're gonna change it to George Foreman since he passed away. Rest in peace. I'm gonna find out if he wants to do Rumble in the Jungle, which is against Muhammad Ali, or if he wants to do the one where he won the championship as the older. I kind of want to do the one where he won the championship because I'd rather do something where he won rather than he lost.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to do
Yeah.
the one where he won it later in his career and he was like 45 years old because
Yeah.
kind of showed that age wasn't nothing but a number. It was all about the skill and the ability. I talked to James a little bit before we came on the air. I think he's thinking about doing it, and this is just tentative. Watch the socials for an official time. But I think they're talking about doing it at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on Saturday. That way it can be a little bit of a lead into shenanigans at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific.
Yeah. Plus,
So,
I mean, the fight happened in '94. The result. It didn't go all 12 rounds, so it won't be
I
as
mean, the
long as.
fact that you just said if we should do the fight that he won
Yeah, exactly.
kind of gave the result away right there. But
I didn't even think of that until you just said that too.
But so but all in all, I think it was a solid episode of Raw. I'm looking forward to see what NXT has in store tomorrow. Looking to see what the other programs have in store this week. Looking forward to going back and watching the Benefit here momentarily. As soon as we get off the air, I'm probably going to load the dishwasher with some dishes, start that up, and then start up the Benefit. That way I can talk about it a little bit in the spaces tomorrow. I don't know if the spaces will be added to YouTube anymore. It was kind of a thing I was doing in the beginning. So many episodes have gone by that didn't get uploaded to YouTube that trying to add them up now would be kind of pointless because the content and the conversation isn't relevant anymore. And to try to add any new episodes would be uploading stuff out of order. So just make sure you're on X and you can listen in. You don't have to participate, you don't have to speak. You can even listen anonymously. But you can always check them out there every Tuesday and Thursday, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific is when I host. Walter usually does it the same time on Wednesday, but he just said that this Wednesday will probably be a little bit later. I'm looking like it'll be 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, kind of like Raw today was. Rock and Ropes is Friday and Sunday. Um, Wrestling with Tism is on Saturdays. Got a lot of content in the spaces. So that's the other reason why, because trying to add all that content is just difficult. There's so much stuff going on. So want to thank everybody for watching along and viewing with us. Walter, anything that you want to add before we get out of here?
No, just subscribe, please. Trying to get to that 200 so that we can get our butts over the. Speaking of butts, over to WrestleMania. But yeah, at Rage of Wrestling YouTube channel, Walter.Cruz.940. On the X, it's Walter Alex Cruz, and we did start Simply Reliable Gaming, so we're gonna try to decide on a make that a regular routine. What day? Tentatively, it's Sundays, but we got to get with Noah and Big G, and that's it.
And then you can find me on Instagram, the Renegade JJ Williams, X and Blue Sky, ROWJJ Williams. Also on X, Casa D18 Studio. No S at the end to make it studios. It's just studio, singular, not plural. And then on YouTube, Casa D18 Studios. The Casa D18 Studio account is where you will find the spaces.
Mm.
So that is where to go. Thank you all for joining us and tuning in this afternoon. And until next time, we will catch you guys later.
Thank you for watching.